Hello friends, it's Trevor, it's Avery, it's Pat, it's the citywide special. The Eagles offseason has begun. Free agent Zack Baun will return after signing a 3-year deal. Saquon Barkley is also rewarded with a 2-year extension. What other moves are on the way? Will the Birds be contenders to land Myles Garrett? Travis Konechny and Travis Sanheim take home the gold in the Four Nations tournament. Since returning, the Flyers are 3-2. Matvei Michkov is getting back into his early season form, collecting 9 points in his last 5 games. Are the playoffs still a possibility? Will Danny Briere make a move ahead of Friday's trade deadline? Joel Embiid is out for the season, putting the Sixers firmly in tank mode. Is this the end for the former MVP? Is there anything to look forward to with this team? Phillies spring training is underway. All signs point to Trey Turner taking over the leadoff spot. Who has impressed so far? What positions may be up for grabs? All that more coming up right now. How's it going, fellas?
Feeling pretty good. I feel like a little bear coming out of hibernation right now.
Yeah, man, the boys are back.
Couple weeks off. Well needed rest, I will say.
Yeah.
It was quite the run. Maybe not podcast wise, but the Eagles fandom really we sucked every ounce of love and joy that we could out of that season, and I think our bodies were hurting. So it was good to get a little downtime.
Yeah, much needed hiatus. I dare say we just got over the Super Bowl hangover.
Yeah.
That was a fun run that week of the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. Then just the joy and just the vibes in the city, just everything in the air was palpable. And then we capped it all off with the parade Friday. It was an epic week.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean you can't write that script up, so it was great, but good to be back. It's unfortunate, although it kind of makes sense. We're back on a rainy day for the pod. It's kind of back to our roots.
It's kind of
tradition.
Back to bringing it back home.
But nice, spring is upon us. Next week is looking beautiful. 70s in the forecast, which is wild.
Yeah.
But
we got daylight savings. We're jumping ahead on Sunday. We get
that's true. Yeah.
Hour of daylight.
Lose that hour of sleep though.
Yeah. Well, it's just going into Sunday. So.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Unless would you got to go to church?
No, I just mind. I don't know. That hour of sleep, like. Here's the deal, right? You feel good because the days are longer, but that hour of sleep, it takes so long to recover from it.
So I don't think it takes very long at all.
Is this the time of year that your clocks are normal then after this week? After that weekend coming up?
Now that you live with Spru High, your clocks are probably right.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't had to deal with it. I don't have there's no there aren't really a whole lot of clocks in our apartment. There's just the oven, really.
It's only the oven and the microwave that we have to deal with, really.
Yeah,
I don't know. I used to have one of those little sunlight alarm clock things, but I don't.
That's not this weekend.
Gave it away,
right?
but
no, we spring forward this weekend.
That's this weekend.
Sunday, yeah,
Oh,
going into Sunday morning.
Damn,
at
hell
2
yeah.
a.m. or whatever.
Yeah, for 1:59 it goes to 3.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, so this was always.
Hope you don't have anything to do at 2:30 because you're fucked.
No, dude, this was
where?
Oh my god, I'm already late.
I missed it.
This was always a trip when I used to work at bars. When I worked at the Barbary and we would fall back. We would stay open for the extra hour. It was ass,
That's
dude.
brutal.
But then at T-Mom's, when I started working at T-Mom's, we would fall back and people would be like, oh, can we stay? I'm like, no, you got to leave. Mm-hmm. It's I understand time went back, but I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting paid for this extra hour if you stay. You got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. We've talked about daylight savings probably the last couple of years on this pod.
I think every
we got
year.
to abolish it, dude. We got to get rid of daylight savings time.
We need
Doja.
We need our glorious leader to.
Yeah, we need Doja to take care of this shit. This is not efficient.
Yeah, not efficient.
I do feel like that was one of the things that they said they were going to do, which probably be one of the few things that I support them doing is abolishing. Here's the deal: it's not abolishing daylight savings time. That's when the days are longer. It's abolishing standard time and making daylight savings time a new standard time.
Yeah.
Which, all for it. If you're going to do anything right, Musk and Trump, please do that. That would be great.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, not to get all political here.
No, yeah.
Oh, man.
Did you guys watch the Oscars?
No.
We put it on for a bit, and then I saw Ben Stiller.
I'd only seen one of the movies. So I was just like, come on, Conclave gonna.
That's all we were.
That's the only one I saw.
We didn't see that though. We saw the Brutalist.
I still haven't seen Anora that won 5 things.
It didn't really. I don't know. None of the movies that were up there really looked
exactly.
great.
I didn't have much interest.
I don't know. The Brutalist was really good, but we didn't watch a Bob Dylan one. I didn't see
Bob Dylan. Yeah, that I had zero interest in the Bob Dylan one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't care.
I
The
love that.
substance looks cool. I want to watch that.
Which was funny that she didn't win it. You know, the younger person won it, which is kind of the whole MO of the movie.
Yeah. It's kind of meta.
Yeah, I like that. Not for her. That sucks for but whatever. No, I didn't watch the Oscars.
No, I forget what I did on Sunday. I couldn't tell you.
We cooked.
It's weird having Sundays not having football.
I know. We cook a
Yeah,
lot
you don't know
more.
what to do with your time
We go to the
anymore.
market, cook some. Oh, we cooked some cutlets. That was what we did.
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
Real good. Yeah.
Yeah, what did I do? I think I made some homemade wings in the air fryer. They were good. Yeah, that's what I did.
Dry rub. Wet.
I did a dry rub first, put them in the air fryer, and then I took them out of the air fryer and doused them in some buffalo sauce and put them back in for a few more minutes. It was good. And then I put some more buffalo sauce on once I took them out. They were very good.
Oh yeah. Oh, we have big news this weekend, i.e. your hat.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Mug, Coffee, and Clay. So y'all may remember we had Hannah Galdit on the pod. I
think the first
one of the first 10 episodes, I feel like. When she shouted out Mug, Coffee, and Clay, well, it was finally opening weekend, first day of school, as we say. So if you're in the area, South Philly, 8th and Federal, find yourself strolling past, and you think, damn, I could really go for some coffee. Check out Mug, Coffee, and Clay. Shout out to Hannah and Lewis. Love y'all.
Yeah. So that was that's all I have for the weekend update and the last bit that's been going down. Nothing else has really been jumping out. We've been just kind of recuperating, laying low, getting the body and mind right again after that crazy run. But we're back to business as usual for Philadelphia sports and every other
back
team.
To
Yeah.
the terrible 76ers and the mediocre Flyers.
Yeah.
And the Phillies are starting now.
But the marathon of MLB season, it's like, okay, it's, March right now. And you're like, I got time to just slowly watch this. It's like watching paint dry. You don't get too excited. It'll dry eventually.
Yeah,
Especially-
spring training, unless you signed a big free agent or something, spring training is kind of boring. Like I remember when they first signed Bryce Harper, that was like really cool to see his first at bat in a Phillies uniform. But if there's no big acquisitions, it's kind of like going through the motions,
Juan Soto blasted. I did watch his first game though as a Met, and that was scary. First at bat, he just moonball.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's gonna suck. Oh, well, I'm not gonna lie. That's gonna be.
His numbers
choke
against the
artist.
Phillies haven't been great the last few years, though.
I'm okay with that.
I mean,
but it's still gonna
He's a
be.
great player. Don't get that twisted. But
I just think they're one of those teams that's in our head. They're in my head. It's Tito.
Oh, Tito from the tailgate.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess do we want to just jump into the Phillies? We haven't gotten to talk about them in a long
it's true.
time,
We have
dude.
not
Let's
talked about
hit
the
it.
Phillies in a long time.
Yeah.
I actually did have the game on. Today was the first time I actually put the game on while I was working, and of course we got shellacked.
The final score was 17-7.
Damn.
Yeah, Luzardo gives up a grand slam and then gives up 2 more home runs
Oh my
right
God.
after that.
He had been
It was
looking
7
good so far.
Honestly, that's hard to do.
I mean, well, here's the golden rule of spring training, especially when it comes to pitchers. If they're doing well, then you get excited. There's Cy Young contender. If they're doing shitty, then look, they're just working on some shit at spring training.
Yeah.
Don't take anything away from it.
Yeah.
So bad outing today. Probably just working out some pitches.
Sun was in his eye, probably. Couldn't really see
who
real good.
knows?
Yeah,
Also-
Wheeler got roughed up yesterday, too.
Yeah.
They're
happens.
just knocking the rust off. Also, to give up a grand slam and then 2 more home runs, that's honestly impressive to do.
I mean, that's...
Yeah, I mean, it'd be kind of hard to do that if you tried.
Yeah.
Even when they have like a position player come into play, and they're just throwing
Yeah.
lobs up there, you're probably not going to give up 3 home runs in a row.
With one of them being a grand slam.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I feel
When's
like
the last time anyone's done that?
that's
a
all
regular
I'm saying.
season game, the manager pulls a guy before it gets to that point, usually.
Yeah, maybe. Unless it was like, I remember, that just for some reason reminded me of years ago when Ryan Sandberg was still our manager and they had Jeff Francoeur out there throwing like 50 pitches.
Dude,
and Chase Utley got pissed.
Yeah, that was the game the bullpen phone didn't work either. Do you remember this? It was in Baltimore. The bullpen phone stopped working. So they're trying to signal to the bullpen to get someone up, and they're just waving a white towel. It's like they were literally like waving the white flag on that game. And I remember Chase Utley, you could read his lips. He was saying to Ryan Sandberg, "This is bullshit. He should not be out here. This is bullshit."
Yeah, Ryan Sandberg, that was such an interesting period because I felt like it was, that's always gone down as one of the all-time worst trades ever when the Phillies trade away Ryan Sandberg. And I
For
feel
Larry Boa.
And I feel like it was kind of trying to, correct past wrongs to make him the manager. And it's like, no,
He was horrible.
getting fucked again. It's like, this doesn't work either.
He was such a bad manager too.
Yeah, he was awful.
It's like I've always like this has been something that few people have said, and like I kind of buy into it. Is usually like really great players in any sport don't make good coaches.
Yeah, I remember like Wayne Gretzky tried to be a coach and he was not good at it. Like, that's why like catchers usually make the best managers because they're good at
they have to
talking
handle
people off a ledge.
Yeah,
and all that.
they're dealing with the
That
guy
kind
on
of
the
shit.
mound the whole time.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they got to call the game.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you see that everywhere, right? I mean, it's a different transition to do. Usually, people that are like,
sorry.
No, you're good. I feel like it's usually like if you're that good, you're not really focusing on other shit. But like if you're bad, you got plenty of time to study other shit. So you're like, all right, well, I know
you
how
have
the
to
rest
like
of the game
figure
works.
out. Yeah, if you're not great, you have to like figure out how to be an effective player. Whereas if you're just naturally gifted, you're just like, well, why can't you fucking
Exactly,
do that?
yeah.
So it doesn't work.
Just do what I do. It's like that's not how it works.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie Manuel played in fucking Japan.
Yeah. I mean, like, different sport, but look at Andy Reid. Like, yeah, he played in the NFL, but he wasn't some all-star stud offensive lineman.
No.
He barely had a career.
Even John Madden, same
Right,
way.
yeah. Yeah,
But-
so. But,
Yeah, so they're back. They're back down there in Clearwater, getting it going, getting started.
Yeah.
Nothing really super exciting. I mean, Harper taking a little hit to the arm. He's all right, but
Yeah, fuck,
hate
man.
to see it. But it's kind of like, I mean, everyone's getting hit. That first week, they were, I forget how
yeah,
many guys
pitchers
got
are shaking
hit.
off the cobwebs.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't excuse hitting him with a 97-mile-per-hour fastball on the tricep, but,
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
Could have been worse.
yeah. Could have hit him on the elbow, could have hit him in the head,
Yeah.
right? Or the knee. Yeah, that's more, like, the tricep
Could have
is
hit
just,
him right in his new Fanatic tattoo. Did you guys see
He got a
that?
Fanatic
Where's that
tattoo?
I actually I'm not sure where exactly it is, but it's like I think it's like the Fanatic like riding the thing. It looks like shit.
I hope it's on his
to be
ass.
honest, it's a really ugly tattoo, but
he's pandering. I'll
Bryce
support
Harper could
it.
do no wrong. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, if you're willing to take your pandering up to permanent body modification, like I gotta hand it to him.
Next year, he gets the Celtic cross on his calf.
Yeah, he's gonna have. Oh no, my favorite thing that like dumb Irish Americans do is they get they accidentally get the Ivory Coast flag tattooed on their leg because they get the colors backwards. That rules.
Oh, I
It's
can
like,
see
yeah, I
it.
got family in the fucking Ivory Coast. That's why I got this tattoo.
I could see it. He'd be a guy that I could see doing that.
Yeah.
Because he looks like a douchebag.
I mean, respectfully, he probably is.
Respectfully.
Have you seen all of his
His TikToks, where he's
where
like,
he's doing
Oh
little
my
recipes and
God.
stuff? The raw milk.
Ugh.
That kind of concerned me. I was like, dude, Bryce, lay off the fucking raw.
Yeah,
don't get into
just
this
like,
new
don't-
age bullshit. You're gonna be
mad cow disease or
yeah.
something.
You're gonna be like gonna be on the IL with fucking shitting his brains out because of fucking salmonella or whatever fucking
Ugh.
shit. Just eat regular food, my man.
Stop being so
Well,
weird.
hopefully now that the season, or we're in spring training,
Yeah, he
hopefully
doesn't
once
have-
the season starts, he stops doing that nonsense.
Yeah, he doesn't have as much time to show everyone his cold brew recipe.
Thank God. Because that shit was ass. I saw some of those that said, come on, man.
Who do you think is watching that thinking, yeah, I want to make this. Bryce made this. This looks good. No one's actually.
I'm
you think
sure there's
are
people that
thinking
tried to make them.
that?
I would say the cold brew thing he made looked fine.
He's
It
kind
was
of,
it was a ton of steps. I'm like, I'm not doing that shit.
the problem is he's
but-
kind of awkward, though. He's not the best, like, social media
Yeah, he's not,
personality. He's, like, very,
he's
like,
no- he's-
now I'm going to put milk in this. It's like, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just
he's no
doesn't
Martha
work.
Stewart.
Yeah,
He's no Ina Garden.
Yeah, he has swag, but he doesn't have Riz.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when he's on the baseball field, he has swag, plays with attitude,
Yeah,
but like he doesn't have that off-field Riz.
He's not built for the
he's
kitchen
a
like that.
Mormon.
You know,
Yeah,
never
that's
knows
true.
what anything is.
Not making any cocktails on the TikTok.
Yeah, puts a glass in his hand. He's like, "Whoa, what is this fancy thing? I don't know. Wow, he doesn't know what's going on." Mm-mm. But yeah, good to have him back in action. Good to see another team alive doing things. So time will tell.
What do you make of Trey Turner leading off?
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it from a traditional standpoint, it kind of makes sense. He's fast. He's a good guy to get on. I mean, I guess the only concern is like, is his on base percentage actually going to be? I mean, I don't know. He's just gone through these like extreme highs and lows.
Yeah.
I would like, I don't know. I kind of understand, I guess, why players like the routine and the consistency of having like a constant like this is your spot, But I sometimes kind of wish that it was accepted to be a little more fluid with the lineup and just kind of like play it like whoever is hot right now, whoever's been getting on base at a good clip the past 5 days, like you're leading off. I don't know. Batting order is overrated, to be honest. It doesn't really matter that much.
It is, yeah.
So I makes sense. He's like, of the players that they have, he seems like the most prototypical leadoff guy. So,
do you have any concern about Schwarber hitting lower in the lineup?
Nah.
I don't, because his batting style kind of bodes well to be literally anywhere. I mean, I guess we've also only ever really known him as the leadoff guy, so it's hard to really tell what he would do elsewhere. But the guy is going to give you, I mean, all he does is go yard. Or he'll give you a little thinker and maybe get a single. But he was actually doing pretty well getting on base.
He hit like 250 last year.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing with Schwarber was as much of as odd as it was to see someone with that kind of skill set being your leadoff hitter, he did draw a lot of walks. So, ultimately you want the guy who's getting on base at the highest clip.
Yeah. I mean,
getting the most at bats.
He gets on base a ton. So yeah, I think the question's going to be how much Trey Turner can kind of imitate that. You know what I mean? Because Trey Turner, it's not really one to work in a bat. Even when he's going well, he's going to get hits, but he's not really going to see a lot of pitches, which the rest of the lineup kind of benefits from. Schwarber leading off. He's going to see 6-7 pitches in that bat, and you can kind of see what the pitcher's got. Schwarber makes it out. The guys behind him have a chance to see what the pitcher's throwing, see what the curveball looks that day, the changeup, and they can kind of time up their ABs a little better. So jury's out on if Turner is able to kind of do any of that stuff. I think having the speed element at the top of the lineup will make a lot of sense. I mean, you get Turner on first, he gets a single or a walk. Should be able to turn most of those into doubles, get to second, get to third. Then having Schwarber lower, all those leadoff home runs, those become 2-run dingers, 3-run dingers, grand slams.
That's going to be my point. Is that like how many games did we lose by 1 or 2 points where Schwarber hit a home run, but you got nobody there on base, which is fine. I mean, that's kind of the name of the game as a leadoff guy, but typically you want your biggest bat in the 4-hole or whatever, like somewhere that's going to hit all the guys, bring them home. But, I think it's worth a shot. I mean, they've had Schwarber at first in the lineup for a couple of years now, and if they want to change it up, you got the guys to do. I also don't think that really him going in front of Turner has been a good pairing, right? You look at Harper and Casty, they kind of feed off each other. That they both have that kind of, I want to be the top guy mentality. And there was a lot of games where they'd go back-to-back yard or back-to-back big moment hits. I didn't get that same energy with Schwarber than Turner. It was always like, if Schwarber struck out, 9 times out of 10, Turner's not really going to do well. But if Schwarber hit a home run, Turner might get on base. We'll see. It wasn't the same energy that way.
Yeah, I guess the one thing I will miss is the leading off the game home run.
First pitch?
First at bat of the game, home run, just like punch him in the face right at the start, which, I mean, I guess feels really nice, but at the end of the day, in the aggregate, does that actually win you games? Maybe not.
I mean, look at game 1 against the Mets, right? Didn't Schwarber hit a leadoff dinger, then wouldn't score any more runs?
First pitch of the game.
Yeah.
That was always cool, though. They were like, oh my God, it's his 40th game now that he hit, first pitch home run. It's like, that shit's sick.
I mean, Turner has some pop, too. We won't get the same level of, leadoff home runs.
I'd just be curious to see how he does without the expectation, right? Like, it can't be easy going up if first pitch of the at-bat, Schwarber hits a fucking 350 dinger, and now, you're up to hit. I don't know. He never seemed comfortable in that spot. So, we'll see. We got a long year ahead of us here.
Yeah. What I don't really want this to happen, but what I could very easily see happening is they start with Turner on the leadoff spot. He starts hot, slows down. It's really scuffling. Then they just deviate from that plan. Schwarber's back in the leadoff spot, and they never go back to it.
It's kind of a Rob move.
I mean, Schwarber in the leadoff spot has worked, but yeah, try it out. Don't give up the minute it doesn't work.
Right.
And, it's funny I'm saying this now when this actually happens and Turner's struggling. I'm going to be sitting there they need to move Turner down in the lineup. But nah, I mean, it's easy to look at it now in spring training. Fresh perspective. The Eagles won the Super Bowl. We're ready to get experimental up in this.
You've also had the same lineup now for it'll be the 3rd season now with pretty much the same guys. So, move it, change it up, do something different. I mean, what else is there to do? You didn't bring any big acquisition in here. So, you got to move the pieces around a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, we'll we'll see how this goes. I mean, I'm all for it now.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder what that does for the rest of the lineup, right? Because Bryce already said he wants to hit third. So, yeah, if you have Trey leading off, who hits second?
I would almost put Cassie second.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of like Cassie hitting cleanup, though.
I like him cleanup. You know, he's got a great looking swing for cleanup, right? You know, it kind of has that sweeper move going for
he's
him,
clutch.
whatever. Either Casty, maybe a Stott. You know, I
kind of like that.
I feel like we deviated from that crazy run he had 2 years ago when he started off 20 games in a row with a base hit or whatever, almost broke Chase Utley's record, or maybe he did, I forget, as a Philly. But put one of the young guys down there low would be probably helpful. And keep Harper happy doing his thing. Casty at 4. I don't want to push Schwarber too far down. But to be honest, him being down the lineup is the same as him kind of coming in at the end anyway. Last year, if you got your 7-8 spot coming in and he comes in as the first spot. But
yeah, I mean, if you can count on the 7-8 guys to get on, then him leading off makes sense. But yeah, I kind of think, obviously, like, you'll have Trey leading off. I think the Phillies kind of like to balance the righties and lefties.
It almost seems like
too much.
With batting order, like we just said, is kind of like overrated. Actually, trying to like puzzle it together. It seems like the best thing to do is just to try to mix up the righties and lefties as best you can. So you can't have someone bring in their like lefty specialist out of the bullpen to pitch to like 3 guys in a row. Right. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Rob's got decisions to make.
Plenty of time to work out the kinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about my boy? Taijuan Walker's been looking good.
Yeah, man. Boy. They could have a really deep rotation, you know?
Not sold on him. He's got a lot to prove.
I'm not at all, but he apparently was hitting 94 the other day.
Yeah.
Regularly.
That's good. I'll take that. Good to have some velocity back, but we'll see.
Nah, the vibes are just off with him.
For your, like, a guy who's going to fill in as your 5th starter here and there, like, could
He's
do a lot worse.
He's still, 13 mil?
I think 18.
Yeah, they're paying him a lot of money. But,
you better get that bitch up to 95, 96.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's not my money.
What I think is he's auditioning for other teams, right? Because, you figure the rotation set with Wheeler, some combination of Sanchez, Suarez,
Nola,
and Nola. What do you call it? Luzardo. Like, that's your 5. And then Painter, when he comes up, like him and Luzardo, I don't know how they'll figure that out. So, yeah, they already have 6 very capable arms. Trade Taijuan Walker. Like, bring in, like, a righty bench back. Get him off the team, man. Like, I hope he continues to pitch well in spring training. And some team says, yeah, we need that guy. He'll fix us. He'll revitalize the vibes. You remember when he was going on Twitter complaining after was that the NLCS 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll...
Fuck that.
I'm happy for him. He's pitching good. Get him off the team.
He can go to Pittsburgh, play with Derek Hall again.
Yeah, your boy.
My boy, his old pal.
My boy and your boy reuniting in Pittsburgh on the other side of the state.
They can hang out, have a thumb war in the dugout. Oh wait,
yeah, go eat some mediocre Permani Bros sandwiches. Although that ballpark is sweet though.
It is a beautiful park.
Yeah, I've never been. I've always wanted to go.
Yeah,
I've never been to Pittsburgh.
We should go. We could boo Derek Hall then this year.
I feel like I put it on.
Is he in their starting lineup?
Dude, I feel like I put it on my calendar when they play in Pittsburgh, because the last year I was like, damn, I kind of want to go to this. It's sometime in June.
Perfect.
Yeah, June 6th.
Nice.
Yeah, Phillies in Pittsburgh. So
let's pencil it in.
Could be into that.
That'd be a nice little vacay. It's a weekend series too.
Pencil it in.
But anyway, what else we got to say on the Phillies? Is there anything? Oh, I was curious about this. What are y'all's biggest reasons for optimism? Like, best case scenario for this team?
I think the thing I'm feeling the best about going into the season is the starting rotation. Assuming that Wheeler and Nola are still, ace and ace B or whatever. The fact that they got Luzardo and he looks pretty good. You're going to get some innings out of Andrew Painter, assumedly. That rotation should be really good. Hopefully better than last year. It was really good last year. So, yeah, I don't know. I think they can just build on the great pitching depth that they had last year. I think it's even better this year.
What you got?
I don't know. For me, it's a little early to think about how good people maybe, turn out or play together or whatnot. Only thing I kind of have in my back of my head is probably just because I'm still riding high on the Eagles. But, you look about 2 years ago, right? Phillies had that great run. They go to the World Series. They don't get the job done. Come out the year later. They're like, oh, my God, we're going back. We got that sour taste in our mouth. We're going to do it. And they kind of have a pretty disappointing end of the year, right? You lose to the Mets. You start off like the bedlam at the bank is not the same. Doesn't hit the same. You're barely winning games in the playoffs at home. It's just not – the vibes are not hitting. You come back the third year now this year, off season. Didn't make any crazy moves, right? You added a couple pieces here and there, but nothing that was breaking the bank. Nothing that really changed the locker room. The continuity is there. They probably feel the disappointment of the fans from last season. At the same time, we're able to see how great the city embraces their team when they perform for them and win it all with expectations high. I think that this year there's less expectations as a whole. I think we all expect them to be a championship contending team, but I feel like last year we were like, they could go back right away. This, I think we're happy if they go, but we understand if they don't, given how it ended in last year. So I think that just that sense of calmness is what will be their biggest gain here this year.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that. Did you see that Castellanos quote?
No, what do you say?
Oh, this was funny, man. I'm trying to load it up now. He was talking all about how there isn't a whole lot of pressure on the team.
I hope it was about steak and milk again. I like that quote.
Okay,
or
is
wine,
this it?
Wine and milk?
Is this it? No, this isn't. This is part of it. But he basically talked about how last year people were hyping the Phillies up, and like you said, they didn't rise to the occasion. They didn't meet expectations. So this year he's saying, the pressure's off. Like there's no pressure on us. He said, if we do well, then that's great. People will be excited. And then he was talking to like the media. He's like, and if like we don't do well, then you guys will write about it and talk about it, and that's pretty dope. He's so funny. But no, that is an interesting perspective, right? Because, they like last year they were more the hunted than the hunter.
Right.
This year they're kind of back to like that underdog. A lot of people are picking the Braves, or people look at the Mets getting Juan Soto, and they're thinking, the Phillies, they're third fiddle.
And the Dodgers,
Yeah, the Dodgers won the World Series, and they reloaded. But, that does bode well for the Phillies. I think this team does well when they're the underdog. And in general, I think the city of Philadelphia prefers to be the underdog. So I'm optimistic about that. I'm optimistic about the rotation too. I'm kind of optimistic about seeing how some of the young players develop, right? Like Andrew Painter, like case in point. I think he's their best pitching prospect since Cole Hamels. I'm really excited to see if he can live up to the expectations. Orion Kerkering. Think in the back of that
Solid.
bullpen, he's really going to hold it down. Stott apparently last year had like some nerve injury that really sapped his hitting ability, so he's healthy. And the Phillies, they're starting to get older.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
Yeah, I feel like that's the biggest.
That's the biggest negative.
The window is closing for sure.
Yeah, the lineup for the most part are a bunch of guys who you have a lot of confidence in, but it's the same group a year older. Right?
Yeah. So, I'm interested to see if some of the younger players can kind of fill in. The daycare can graduate and become the high schoolers or whatever you want to call them. And, Johan Rojas is looking pretty brolic. Maybe he finally gets it together a little bit. So, the Phillies are still built around their vets, but I'm interested to see how some of the young players bring some energy and hopefully bring solid play. Really just make us feel better about the fact that these guys are getting older, and a lot of them may or may not be here starting as soon as next season.
Yeah.
Then as far as like downsides, like you said, the lineup's getting older. In some ways, it kind of reminds me of the Phillies of the late 2000s, like the early 2010s, right? Like they rode that core, and they rode that core to a lot of postseason success. One World Series, 2 World Series, they won one, an NLCS, and then they kind of petered out after that, NLDS. And that team just got old real quick. Ryan Howard tears his Achilles. He's not the same player. Chase Utley gets degenerative knees. He's not the same player. And, that was that. So there is some sense of concern that this might be their last year at this level if the young guys don't step up.
Yeah. Yep, we shall see. A lot of baseball to be played.
Yeah, I'm excited for baseball.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if you want to pivot to, speaking of knees and potential end of an era. if
Yeah,
you're ready
let's
for
get
that
to the
conversation, but-
Sixers.
The Sixers.
Yeah.
The Sixers. I guess they did finally win a game a few nights ago.
Against
right?
the Warriors of
Against
all
the-
teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were losing to scrub-ass teams like the Nets, the Raptors. Who else beat them? Some pitiful teams beat them, and then they beat
Nets,
the Warriors.
I think. Yeah,
The Bulls, right?
Bulls.
I
The
think they
Bulls
lost to the
destroyed them.
Yeah.
Yeah, by 50 points.
Yeah,
Pull
the
them out.
Bulls just
Yeah.
fucked them up. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Like, you
But,
can tank, but damn, don't,
Yeah,
make
don't
it that
embarrass
obvious.
us
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was wretched, dude.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they've been... Ugh, I don't even know where to begin. We don't even really need to talk about the on-court product. It's just
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah.
Kind of more about the
Just
future with Embiid.
the state of the union, state of Embiid.
Yeah.
We can't
know.
be talking about the State of the Union.
No, I meant like
It's too soon.
I didn't mean. I'm just saying, like, Embiid's not. I don't know, man. I don't see a way where. I just don't. I don't see how it works out where he plays again.
Ever.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he'll
Okay.
play again. I just don't think it's seeming unlikely at this point that he's ever going to be back to the player that he was. I don't know.
He definitely won't be the player that he was. Okay, maybe not never play again, but if he does play again, it's not. I just don't think it makes sense. I think if I'm Embiid or if I'm the people around him and his team, Avery, you've been saying it every week when we do the pod. Like, he's got nothing. He's literally got nothing.
Yeah, he
keeping
has
that
no
knee together.
meniscus
So,
in
like,
his left knee.
what-
Yeah.
what
I mean,
do you-
now they're exploring possibly doing that meniscus transplant thing.
They're exploring all these
That's never been done.
He's going to
on
start.
someone that big.
He's going to
Right.
start doing like new age medicine. He's going to start seeing like a guru.
I just
or
don't- I
something.
don't
They
like
might as
it.
well try it.
Hey, yeah.
Yo, have you read or heard about some of the things they're saying? They like
No.
experimental. So there's like three things that they've talked about. Like the team, like Colin Newbeck reported on this. He talked with some people like Sixers staffers or whatever, his connections with the Sixers. So the three options that they have is they've talked about the meniscus transplant, but the problem is like there aren't too many 7'2", 300-pound men wandering around that you can just take a meniscus from. Well, they're not walking around; they're cadavers. But like, you can't take their meniscus and put it in them. There aren't that many people that big,
Yeah.
so that doesn't work. They were saying they were going to treat it with radiation. Like, you don't want to treat it with radiation. Like, that's going to come with like the effects of like sickness. Like, it might expose them to
What would that
cancer.
even
like,
do?
Carcinogen. It doesn't fix the pain, but it manages it.
Numbs it.
Embiid's just going to be bald.
Yeah, you won't feel
give
shit.
him chemo at that point.
Yeah.
Damn. So that's an option. And the other one was, what is this called? An osteotomy, where they like break a part of his leg.
They make
So-
him shorter?
No, so like they
Oh,
break.
I heard about this.
They break
Didn't
apart
they,
his-
break his hip or something?
So that there are two different types. I've watched too many videos from the YouTube and Twitter doctors on this, but there's the hip one, but that doesn't really work here. There's one where they break part of his tibia, and then they like set it so that when the tibia heals back, his knee adjusts and it takes some of the stress off his knee.
Jesus
All this stuff
Christ.
sounds like some
Sounds
witch doctor
fucking
hijinks.
nuts, yeah.
Like none of it is proven to work.
It almost like reminds me of that that surgery that some guys get to make them like a couple inches taller, where
Oh,
they
yeah.
where they like break both their legs. It's like this brutal process
Yeah.
just to be like
Just to be like,
a
instead
couple
of being
inches taller.
5'2", you're 5'4".
Yeah.
It's like cool.
It's like, all right, now I'm gonna get pussy.
Yeah.
It's like they're still like pretty short. Oh man, but yeah, it sounds like that kind of fucking shit.
Yeah, none of it's proven. So yeah, they like might as well just call some sort of guru and just have him like rub ointment on it. I don't know.
I don't know. It seems like a lot of work to come back for not a full season worth of games.
Yeah, he's going to end up missing probably at least a full season, maybe even more.
Yeah.
I mean, by then he's what, 32, 33? It's like, what the hell's the point? But, I mean, he has this contract extension that he's on, which there's a way for the Sixers to get out of it if he medically retires. But, I mean, he's going to do everything he can to get that money, which, hey, I don't blame him.
If
You
we
get
had
paid.
if we had good ownership, I feel like the way that he's been kind of dealt with his whole career really as a Sixer, and if he had to go into early retirement, they should, you would think that they would take care of him that way. At least give him
Yeah.
some. I don't know.
This ain't no Jeffrey Lurie team.
No.
Yeah.
It's a Josh Harris team.
I don't know if there's any like thing that's been done before in the NBA, but like you would think that after all he's done for at least the Sixers and tried to do, and he did give it his all. Literally gave up his whole fucking knees and all this shit for this team. Like,
Yeah.
okay, fine. He's got what 120 million or so still sitting out
I think
there.
170 or
Okay.
190. It's some absurd
Give him
contract.
you don't have to give him the whole thing, but give him enough that's like, listen, you got to retire early. I don't know.
So I think the way that this works, so I might be mistaken on this, but if he does not play a game for a full calendar year, then the Sixers can approach the NBA and say, yeah, like, we think he should medically retire. And if the NBA agrees, yeah, he's medically unfit to return to play, he still gets paid the remaining money on his contract, and it doesn't count against the cap.
Okay.
I just love the phrase medically retired. That sounds like you're just like pulling the plug on your grandmother or something. Yeah, she's medically retired.
Yeah, I feel bad for the guy. I mean, it just sucks.
What a brutal.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's the most Embiid way to go out, though.
One of the most unlucky athletes of all time.
He can't even retire normal. Even his retirement is medically induced. Like, it's just the most Embiid way to go out.
Nah, man. Like, I've been saying this for a while. He's kind of a tragic hero. You know what I mean? Like, he's tried so hard to do everything the right way, just like looking out for the city, and like come into this well-intentioned, and just at every step, something bad just has happened to him. Even going back to like his little brother dying when he first came over here. Like the 2 foot surgeries, like breaking his face multiple times, Bell's palsy, like you name it, tearing his thumb up a couple times. Like, just tragedy is always waiting to strike. And what is the other thing I said? I wrote this down. I said this about him before, the Dark Knight quote. You either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain. People are like villainizing him, dude. Have y'all seen some of the discourse on like Twitter and like social media? Just like, yeah, Joel Embiid doesn't play. He doesn't come to work. Like, he's a loser. Like, knew this was going to happen the minute they drafted him. Like, have some respect for this guy, dude. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
And he's going through it right now.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even like see it as much of this shit anymore, because I finally on Twitter I finally just made the switch to just use the following tab instead of the For You tab.
You were using the For You?
Oh yeah.
What?
It's like it's been great. I feel like this must be what it feels like for someone who's just been addicted to meth for years to finally get clean, and like all of a sudden you could just everything's like clear. But yeah,
I can't believe you're using For You.
Yeah, I mean, I used to enjoy seeing like just like random stuff pop off and stuff, but now it's just become so shitty. Like I can, I can just log on and see what like the Phillies lineup is going to be without having to wade through like 10 posts about like the Jewish question or whatever the fucking shit. Like, it's just become such a fucking cesspool. So like, yeah, now I just use the following tab, and it's been pretty good for my mental health. I'd have to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, just
well, good for you, Trevor. Yeah, it's
because
baby.
I've been reading Inner Excellence.
Yeah,
there you go.
Right there.
It's
Shout out to Jim Murphy.
Controlling my my mind.
That's great.
Yeah, I finally realized, because Instagram started doing, like, Instagram would show you all these suggested posts.
Oh.
And I would have to scroll so far to see something one of my friends posted. I'm like, yeah, I got to just get rid of this. And I finally figured out how to do that. Now I can just go open Instagram, see what my friends are up to, and I'm out. I don't have to see people calling Embiid a chump.
Do that too.
Like, because, yeah, people,
I don't use Instagram as much.
People are, like, ridiculing this guy, like, hitting him, beating him while he's down. Like,
yeah.
He's just had terrible luck. It's not his fault. Just all the negativity, man. We just won a Super Bowl. Like, this guy has played his ass off for the city, and you're just going to throw dirt on his name? Like, have some respect.
That's unfortunate, but people need something to talk about. So if he's an easy target, he's a big target. And that's kind of half why he got here, right? His sheer size alone was great for him being a dominant player when he was healthy, but then you get those weird fluke injuries where you're catching the elbow at the eye, you're catching, wherever, left and right, you're falling down weird. I mean, he jumped so much and fell down like a baby giraffe every time. Like, there was no, I don't know.
Yeah, but I think some of the falling's by design, so he takes stress off his lower body, but I mean...
Yeah, but it was never, I feel like, if that's your move all the time, to fall down and try to...
Yeah, the ground's undefeated,
Yeah, it's just brutal. But sucks to see. I just think it's an end of it's definitely the end of the era. Whether or not if he comes back, he'll be a young Frankenstein version of himself. Like he'll just be
it's sad,
patched up, put together.
It's crazy to think, 13 months ago he had 70 points in a game?
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Literally the 2 games after that, Kuminga lands on his knee, and that was that.
Dunzo.
And then he has that play against the Knicks where he throws it off the backboard and dunks it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he tore the meniscus again when that happened. But then he still came out and put up 50 points in a playoff game 2 games after that.
Yeah.
But
he can play basketball. He just needs knees.
Yeah, I mean, a
so,
sport where you run and jump, you need your knees.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? But nah, like, I don't know. And people saying he shouldn't have played in the Olympics. Dude, he played like 15 minutes a game in the Olympics.
He didn't really play.
They don't win that game against Serbia without him. There's no gold medal without him. So, nah, he did the right thing playing in the Olympics. If anything, the Sixers, like their medical staff, has botched this whole thing.
Oh, 100%.
As always, right?
100%.
Like saying, if he plays on it, it's going to get better. And it just got worse and worse.
What kind of fucking logic is that? What?
Like the guy probably has arthritis.
Dr. Nick.
Yeah, what?
Degenerative knees. And you're going to tell him, your knees will regenerate if you keep playing on it. No, I don't think it works like that.
Yeah. So they did him wrong. All we can hope for that the tank is successful really at this point.
Yeah.
The big thing is Nick still around or no?
Hell no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I just wanted to ask and see what was happening.
No, dude.
Nurch.
Yeah, Nurch.
Nurch.
Don't even get me started on him.
I'm getting you started. Give me some takes here.
So, one of my biggest problems is when it's 2 minutes into the game and he challenges a play that probably has very little chance of getting overturned.
Or very little impact to the game.
Yeah, you're down 4 points 3 minutes into the first quarter. There is absolutely no reason to challenge this play. Burn your only challenge. And so many times in games that would come back to bite them where they're down 2 late in the game and the refs blow a call. And the players are telling him to challenge it, and he already used his challenge on that stupid. So that's one thing. Dude, also, I understand the Sixers this season has been beset by injuries. Maxi's hurt right now, and Embiid's out for the year. Paul George has a groin problem, torn tendon in his pinky, two hyperextensions of his knee. McCain tears his meniscus, speaking of menisci. Everything's gone wrong, but, you still have to be able to rely on your coach, especially a championship-winning coach, to pull you out of it. And you could argue he's made it worse.
Yeah, you would see a guy like Spoelstra. He would, they would still suck, but they wouldn't look embarrassed. They wouldn't get beat by 55 points by some team. He'd be keeping it close or doing something. There's this is the opportunity. If you guys have all your top guys out and hurt, this is the chance for the young guys to grow. And he's giving them no direction.
He was playing Kyle Lowry.
Right.
What the heck? Kyle Lowry is several years older than me. Or not several. I think he's 3 years older than me. He's a few years older than me. He should not be seeing the court for 30 minutes in an NBA game in 2025, dude.
His role was supposed to be, if we went a deep playoff push and everybody was healthy, he'd come in here and there. He wasn't supposed to be a main piece on the board.
So that, and then... This was egregious. The one game against the Celtics where they blew the Sixers out. The Celtics are one of the most historic, shooting 3-point teams in NBA history, right? And, when teams go to zone defense, the best way to beat a zone is to shoot threes. So Nurse, the Sixers are already getting blown out. The Celtics are bombing away from 3, and the Sixers are playing man. So then he goes to zone, and you know what happened? They started bombing away from 3 even more. It's dude... I've known this since I was playing rec league basketball when I was 10. You don't play zone against a good shooting team. He sat in a zone for a whole quarter. I don't know. He was given his reputation as a guy that'll tinker and a guy that'll make adjustments on the fly. And he'll have the adjustment to the adjustment, and he'll respond well to tension and pressure. And he's done the exact opposite. He's turtled or just made boneheaded, stupid decisions. And yeah, it works, right? Because it's good. We want the Sixers to lose, but I don't know. If this is him coaching well, then what's going to happen when the team is set up to win in a few years? and you still have him doing boneheaded stuff like this. You're going to end up wasting Maxey's prime the way they wasted Embiid's. So yeah, he's got to go. I don't know who they bring in at coach. I have no idea. I haven't really started to have that conversation. But Jonah was right all along. He coaches...
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, he coaches the most, but not the best, I think was Jonah's quote. Shout out to you, Jonah. You were right the whole time. Nick Nurse is a wolf in sheep's clothing. And that's all I got to say. Mic drop.
A wolf in sheep's clothing. Isn't it
a sheep in wolf's clothing? No. Wait, what?
See, y'all don't even know what it is. Yeah, it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. He's a sheep in wolf's clothing. Right?
No, he's a wolf in sheep's... No, because otherwise he'd be a killer now.
Well, he ain't no kid.
I feel like saying that he's a wolf.
Yeah, it implies that he's tough.
Yeah,
no, he's a sheep in wolf's clothing. Damn, I said mic drop, and then I butchered that figure of speech. Yeah, we're rusty. It's been a few weeks on the citywide.
Well, I think wolf in sheep's clothing is the phrase, but I just don't think it applies
to him.
Well, he's a sheep in wolf's clothing.
He's the opposite. See, all that talk about nurse got you all fucked up.
Yeah, no, like I'm heated. Body temperature went up a couple degrees. Nah, I really don't like he's got to go. I don't know what they do.
What if they keep him? If there's a world that they do keep him,
then Josh Harris is even dumber than I thought. Josh Harris and Daryl Morey, Daryl Morey, I don't think he's that dumb. He's just off doing crypto stuff and a bunch of other nonsense. But
he's off buying Trump coin.
Yeah, and Crumble Cookie.
Crumble Cookie.
Yeah, but Josh Harris is dumber than I thought if they keep Nurse. I mean, you could make the argument that they should fire Morey, but I think Morey made a lot of the right moves. Like the Paul George signing at the time, we all cheered for it.
Yeah, I think we all liked their offseason.
You just can't predict injuries like that. Literally, the whole team got fucking sandbagged. Like, you know.
I mean, fucking Jared McCain, remember him?
Yeah.
Dude, it's so wild. It feels like that was 2 seasons ago.
It feels like it never happened.
He was so hot for, like, him and Maxey, like, there's a way where Paul George gets healthy. Now it's Paul George,
Embiid
Maxey
comes
McCain.
back.
You're like, we're looking all right.
Yeah.
And then one by one, it's like this domino fell. This domino, you're like, fuck, all right, we got nobody.
Yeah,
this is it.
Dude, I was watching this game the other than what game was this? Monday against Portland. They had a lineup out there in the third quarter after Maxey got hurt. It was Jeff Doughton Jr., Ricky Council, who the hell else? Adem Bona. What's this dude's name? I don't even know.
It's like a literally process Sixers.
Dude, it felt like exactly.
Yeah.
Nerlens Noel's out there. You're like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, it's like Nerlens Noel. He's still alive.
Yeah,
it was
like like the process Sixers when there were guys who were just like having the moment of their lives because in normal circumstances they would just not be on an NBA team, but because the Sixers are doing this thing, all these guys get to make the league minimum and like Some of those lineups feel like that.
I mean, the ticket prices are back down to process era just about.
I haven't been, dude. I have not been to a Sixers game because I didn't go at all last year. I have not been at all this year. But like, man, I don't know, man. If I get courtside seats for like a couple $100 or something,
probably not even.
They won't even be a couple $100,
dude.
They're usually like thousands of dollars.
There was a game. There was a game this week though that was like $5.
Well, that's nosebleeds.
I'm just saying that was the first ring.
I'm looking right now.
Yeah, what is a courtside like a fucking?
I'm gonna say $250.
Sitting next to Josh Harris.
You can get section 102, row 15 for $98.
Yeah,
that's
that
good.
Courtside.
That's not bad.
I mean, I don't see if I can zoom in here.
I'm gonna say $250.
No, it's
they're $411 for floor level.
Not bad. Wasn't too far off.
Straight up courtside, row 1, $1,200.
Yeah, it's still over a
That's
grand.
still too much.
Yeah, I can't do that.
That's too much.
I'd pay like a couple $100 if that happened.
It's like I could do it.
I would pay,
but it would just be a very poor use of.
Well, who are you going to see though? Like you're spending all that money unless LeBron James coming to town.
It's just the experience. You might get to sit next to the fucking slumlord that sits down there.
Oh, he's on his deathbed, dude. They always show him looking all frail with his sunglasses on, just like mouth gaping
hate
open.
That guy.
Yeah.
What do they call him?
The sixth man, the 76th man. Yo, the funniest is when the players will come back to the bench and he starts trying to talk to them. They always
Dude, I remember the one time he was trying to like walking up to like James Harden and like I was just looking at him like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, get the fuck out of here.
He's a creepy old man.
Weird old man.
Nah, he's an old freak.
He's literally just like he just like owns all that student housing around Penn and stuff, and he's just like a slumlord.
He's like 80-something years old too.
Yeah, a huge piece of shit.
He'll have his Jack Nicholson moment, but he'll eventually be banned soon. He's getting there.
I mean,
is Jack Nicholson banned
from the Lakers? I thought he was.
Is he?
Yeah, that's why he's not there anymore. He
you
was
know
like
what? You don't see him at Lakers games.
You don't see him as much as he's fucking old as shit.
Before now, he was at, I forget what award show he was at recently, but he got banned for he just kept dropping shit and getting wasted at every game.
Oh, maybe.
He used to have courtside seats.
I remember years ago you would always see him at Lakers games.
Yeah, but he got banned before he got like old and decrepit. He got banned because they were like,
they're just using him being old and decrepit as an excuse to cover up the fact that he's banned for being drunk and disorderly.
Yeah, he's just too old, but he was just getting fucked up. They were like, dude, you can't keep doing this shit.
Yeah, the 76th man, I think he might be forced to medically retire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put him down.
Medically retire from going to games and just
put that man down.
You got to stay home and watch this game in bed. Jim Lynam's like that too. Like, shout out to Jim Lynam, but like, how is this man still like doing post game live? He's like 80 years old.
Well, fucking, what's his name? Who just did his last game?
UB Brown,
yeah.
Who was like 90.
It was a Sixers game.
Yeah, it was the game before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, damn. Oh, yeah, that's right. What a game to go out on.
Yeah, the Sixers get destroyed by the Bucks. Meanwhile, no one cares because the Super Bowl is in 3 hours.
He's like 94 years old or some shit.
Yeah,
he's in his 90s, right?
I think he was like 92.
Jesus
Christ.
That's elder abuse. So I don't think we ever talked about
I just saw a video of Willie Nelson, and he's apparently in his 90s now.
He is?
He just did a concert like a year or so.
Yeah, he still performs.
He still looks. Wait, let me make sure I have that right. That wasn't just like some shit.
I think he is though. I mean, he is.
He's got to be up there.
The thing is
like
though,
late
Willie
80s
Nelson has always pretty much looked old though.
Yeah, he's looked old for 50 years.
Like the dude's looked the same for forever.
Yeah,
and like still smokes a shit ton of weed and like is just chilling.
Yeah, he's got to be.
Yeah, he's 91.
Jesus.
I saw him in concert though. Maybe he must have been 5.
That's wild. Maybe the key is just to smoke weed all the time.
Yeah,
I must have seen him 6 years ago. Dude sounded great. The only weird thing is, like, all his kids are in the band now. So, like...
Yeah, well, that's what the video I saw was him playing with his kids, but in his 90s. He's got a
shit ton of kids.
Yeah, that's fucking wild,
Dude's
man.
like a rabbit.
He was born in 1933.
Jesus.
God damn.
He's not rolling in like Ed Rendell in a wheelchair either.
Yeah,
no, he's chilling. Puts on a good show still.
Good for him. I hope I can do anything when I'm that old.
The good thing is, it's not like his voice is very, he
doesn't need to, like...
He's just kind of talking into the mic and
singing. Yeah, he ain't belting.
I remember... Did you come with us when we saw Apartment Funkadelic?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, George Clinton had to keep taking breaks.
Yeah, dude, I remember he didn't really like sing anything. He would just like stand on stage and kind of like sway back and forth. Every once in a while, he'd just like bring the mic up his mouth and be like, yeah, like every like 10 minutes.
And he would take so many. He would go off stage for a song and the band would play without him. Then
that
he'd come
shit
back.
rocked though.
It was awesome. They were tight.
There was like 20 people on stage. There was like the biggest band I've ever seen.
At the Ardmore Music Hall too, like a small venue like that. That was an experience. I would see them again.
Yeah, that was sick. But yeah, at least got to see George Clinton. That was cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was funny. That's always it's always funny to see like people that are like old as fuck.
Like old heads up there doing their thing. Like, what's the fucking sick?
Good for them.
Yeah.
Lived a lifelong dream and they continue to live it.
That's all you ask for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
We got anything else on the Sixers? I think I'm done talking about them. Let's hit the Flyers real quick and we can wrap up with the Eagles. I want to talk about the Frozen Four.
Oh yeah,
not the Frozen. That's the college one. Yeah, the Four Nations.
Yeah, the Four Nations.
Yeah, that was badass, yo.
Yeah, I didn't really. The only game that I actually sat down and watched the whole thing was the final.
Same.
The first U.S. Canada game, I was doing something, I couldn't watch it, but
when they started fighting right away.
Yeah, when they were like just from the drop started fighting. It was cool, man. I was like low key rooting for Canada.
Oh, I was high key rooting for Canada.
I was like, but it was a great game. Really cool concept. But I guess the one thing I will say is that I do think, like, I mean, have you seen like this, all these like videos like PK Subban kind of like shitting on the NBA and like it's like, yeah, because it's it's been talked about a lot because there's this juxtaposition between like the NBA All-Star Game, which is a complete joke now.
It was
It
horrible
has been
this
for
year.
years, but this year it was just a new level of just a joke.
Debauchery.
And then you have the NHL tournament, which was just like intense as fuck and like people playing and stuff. But I do think that people were talking about it and sort of making it out as if this is what the NHL thing is always like. And it's like the NHL All-Star Game for the past few years has also been a complete joke. Like,
they did that bullshit speed rally.
They like did this.
They do a
thing.
3-on-3 tournament too, right?
Yeah. And like, so they did this thing this year that was different and new and fun and a great idea and stuff. But it's also like, okay, like, let's calm down. Like the NHL All-Star Game has also been a complete joke for years. Like
you just now got your shit together.
Yeah. And it's also, I mean, they're not going to be able to do this every year. We'll see what they end up doing.
It would be cool if they had some format like it where you have world teams going against each other. I mean, you'd have to involve Russia, which I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Are you kidding me? Yes, it will. They're ready to be fucking.
What you mean?
That is true.
Once they wrap this up,
they're about to be all. We're good to go.
That could happen. But then, like Germany, I know has got some good players.
I think they're also talking about doing a World Cup of Hockey thing.
That would
like
be
every
awesome.
other year. Yeah, so I think they'll do
that.
like something like the Four Nations, and then the next year they'll have like a different sort of international tournament, like in the off season maybe or something. I don't know. But it sounds like they're not going to be able to do the Four Nations thing like every year in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
But maybe every couple years.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like watching the Olympics. Like I was saying this to this guy yesterday.
Vibes,
It did have that.
And yeah, I mean, with the NBA, like, yeah, these guys aren't really playing for anything. These like guys in the Four Nations are playing to represent their country.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't want to let their country down. And it was a great game. I mean, I think the political tension certainly fueled that final game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You had people booing "Oh Canada."
Yeah.
Which, not for nothing, "Oh Canada" is the better anthem in my opinion. But that's a different story for a different day. But the political tension fueled it. And also, I mean, U.S. and Canada both have a bunch of good players. Canada, obviously, that's where hockey comes from. But the U.S. is caught up.
Yeah, no, the U.S. has definitely closed the gap there. I mean, I think on paper they were the better team. It's just fucking like, it was funny for the whole tournament. I was just like, I cannot believe that Jordan Binnington is the best goalie that fucking Canada
He stood
could throw
on
out
his
there.
head.
He was unbelievable in that final. So, hey, man.
Yeah, and then we
Came
got
up
to
big
see
when it mattered.
the Travi win something. Dude, I was watching the medal ceremony, and it was so funny seeing Konechny because he didn't play in that game, so he didn't have his skates on, so they like called his name, and what do you call it? He jumps on Brad Marchand's back,
yeah.
and then Marchand just skates him out. That was so funny. But I mean, that was a good time. The Flyers in general, since they got back, they've been playing well. The game I was at last night, notwithstanding. Like Michkov's back on his game, dude.
Yeah,
he is an
could be
incredible
back in the Calder Trophy conversation. Maybe I haven't checked the odds lately, but he's climbing in the overall points for rookies with a lot less ice time than the other guys.
Yeah,
so
and I mean, he should have had his 20th goal last night. They gave it to Coots. It was funny. We all thought it was Michkov, and I said to Adrian, the guy who I was sitting next to, I was like, "Yo." He had a bet. He had a Michkov anytime goal bet.
Oh, shit.
So it's like, yeah, that's Michkov's goal, dude. And then this morning I come to find out that they actually changed it to Coots.
Damn.
So when that happens, I should ask him this, actually. So when that happens, does FanDuel take his money back from him? They can't.
I think they can, yeah.
They can?
Fuck.
Yeah.
What if he cashed it?
I've seen...
Like,
I mean, I guess if you withdraw, I don't know. I've never had that.
I should ask him.
The odds of people withdrawing, though, I feel like aren't that.
Nah, you're probably not going to unless it's like a huge bet and like you're like, yeah, I'm doing something with this money. But but Michkov, good to see him almost get his 28th goal. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get his 20th goal. That shootout goal the other night,
that was sick.
That was nasty.
Yeah.
Like I was starting to doze off, and then he makes that goal, and I just like screamed. I yelled. It's like hell yeah.
You were dozing off at the game?
No, the shootout goal against Winnipeg the other night.
Last night. Oh, yeah.
I was alive at the game. Gritty was
man, your bet just hit, dude. Yeah.
Gritty was right next to us. That was the second time I've been that close to Gritty. It was, and then these kids, man, we had good seats. These kids were sitting in front of us, and they were all excited to see Gritty. They were like, Gritty, we want to see Gritty. And then he got real close and he started doing his eye thing where his eyes going this way and that way. One of the kids looked like he was going to cry. The other was like, his eyes. It was hilarious, man.
The terrifying eyes.
It's all fun and games, so you get the mascot face to face, and you're like, oh shit, oh my god.
Yeah, Gritty's an agent of chaos. He was up to some tricks last night.
Mm-hmm.
He was, he built a big box tower and
I
the
saw
boxes
that,
fall all over the people.
Oh yeah.
What else did he do? He was playing his drum. First he had like a snare drum, then he had a floor tom, then he had a bass drum. That bass drum was booming. It's a shame it didn't lead to the Flyers winning, but it was a fun time. It was my first game since the last game last season.
I've been to a couple this year. They've lost both of them. But...
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't go to Flyers games. We're
Yeah,
probably bad luck.
I guess.
But nah, man.
Trade deadline coming up.
Yeah, you think anyone else gets moved?
I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. I don't know. I guess if anyone, it's probably going to be Lawton.
Did you see that Last Supper?
Oh, yeah. That was hilarious.
That was funny as hell.
That was so funny.
I mean, even though at the time, like, there weren't any rumors of him getting traded, it was funny to see him just have a play on the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think... Yeah. It seemed like it was just him, like, fucking with everybody, which is really funny, but...
So you think he's more likely to go than Risto?
I would think so. I don't think Risto has a whole lot of suitors right now, given the contract and...
He's been playing well.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I would rather see Risto go, but I do kind of agree with you. Lawton has more value. But he also has more value to the Flyers, right? He's the alternate captain. He's a vibes guy. I guess he's the longest tenured player on the team at this point. No, Coots. Yeah, he's one of the longest tenured players on the team. No, I don't know. He's great in the community. We'll see. I mean, if he gets you a first round pick, then you have to do it. A second round pick, you probably have to do it. If it's anything less than that, then just keep him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like there could still be moves made ahead of the draft or something. Like, I don't think they have to.
That's true.
I don't know. I feel like they're not going to move him unless they get a really good deal. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they already made their trade, right? They traded Farabee and Frost. That was probably the big move.
That was probably exactly.
Which it was weird seeing them in Flames gear last night.
Yeah.
Like Farabee looked so weird. Both of them looked so weird in red, white, and yellow. It's just strange times.
Yeah.
Did you see this Flyers hat they're giving away tomorrow?
Pathetic,
Dude,
man.
it's so funny.
It just says Flyers.
And just
Someone's
like a plain,
getting fired.
it's just like a gray hat with just a plain font that just says Flyers.
Like, that's
Might as well
the
just
best
say,
you could
might as
do.
well say hockey team. They're getting fired. Whatever intern bought that shit, they're done.
It reminds me. Have you ever seen that picture that goes around every once in a while of Rob Lowe sitting at a football game and he's just wearing an NFL hat?
Yeah. It is kind of the same vibe.
Yeah. Dude, it kind of. I feel like the fact that it's so bad kind of makes me want to go to the game and get it.
This
But
is
I can't,
hockey.
but-
It's just as stupid.
If I hadn't just gone to the game last night, I'd be tempted.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Those tickets are cheap too. You probably get Flyers tickets for like $10 right now, like upper level. I mean, we paid with fees $87 to sit 10 rows off the ice.
Yeah,
It was a good seat.
Hell yeah. I mean, they're great seats.
Without fees, it's like $50, which the fees are, don't even get me started. I already got heated once on this episode.
Yeah, the StubHub fees are getting insane. It used to be like $10.
Every ticket,
And now it's like
Ticketmaster,
30.
StubHub, they're all just, they're bending you over.
Dude, yeah, I was like trying to get tickets to this concert in May or whatever, and I was going through the ticketing website or whatever, and it was like a show at Franklin Music Hall, like the old Electric, used to be the
Nothing
Electric Factory.
crazy. Yeah.
And like, it was like with fees, it was like $95. I was like, what the fuck?
That's absurd.
But then when I realized is that like I noticed that it said like resale. And it doesn't like tell you that it's like technically sold out and these are like reseller tickets. But the thing is, like, now with the way these sites work, the resale market is done through the same site as the original tickets. So that means like they have no incentive to like prevent like bots from buying the tickets because they're just making fees all like every time.
It's so crooked.
Total fucking racket.
Damn.
It's like unbelievably like fucked.
So did you get them?
No, I was
Yeah,
like,
you can't. I don't
was
think
like,
I
I
can
don't-
justify
I know,
it.
I know.
yeah, I was like, I don't want to go that bad. But
It's-
it really sucks like with shit like concerts though, because it's like if you really want to see the band, like they really like have you by the balls. It's not
Right.
like you're gonna go buy some other just consumer I don't want to pay this much for this laundry detergent. I'll just buy the cheaper laundry detergent. Like there's no like you either see the band or you don't. You know what I
Right.
mean? You can't just.
And it sucks for the band because like you want to see them, but then it's like, it's not because I don't want to go see you, but now that you got all these extra fees tied up in there,
Which
it
those
makes it
fees
more-
aren't going to the band
No,
either.
no,
that's
they're
what-
not getting any of
That's
that
what
shit.
makes it more infuriating. Like they're not getting any of that money.
Yeah.
And half of the fucking price is going to fucking Ticketmaster or StubHub. You're like, well, this is bullshit.
Yeah, like a few years ago when politicians came out like denouncing Ticketmaster, I was kind of like, yeah, they're a bigger fish to fry. But now I'm with them, man. This has just gotten just out of pocket.
Yeah.
Like the tickets, the fee should not be almost as much as the ticket.
No.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I mean?
unbelievable.
And for us living in Philadelphia, yeah, I mean, it's easy for us to get to a game. Imagine you live in Williamstown, New Jersey. You want to go to a Sixers games are cheap, a Flyers game or an Eagles game. So not only do you have to pay the ticket and the fee, but then you got to pay the park.
Right.
You got to pay the toll. And what should have been just
You got to pay
buying
the pee in a
ticket
piss bucket.
well, you don't have to pay for that, but what should have just been the expense of buying the ticket at face value ends up becoming this whole debacle that it's just, I mean, you'll do it because, like, if you have family, you have kids, you want them to get the experience, but, like, it's going to have to make you reconsider a little bit.
Yeah.
You saw that change a little bit though for the Super Bowl this year. Whether or not we were in it is irrelevant, but the fact that like they started off at like 5,000 a pop, and no one bought tickets. So then like 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, they started dropping the price. They were like, all right, we got to get people in here, and they just started buying. It's like people want to go. You will make your money. You'll be all right. Just don't fucking nickel and dime everybody.
Don't be a greedy prick.
You can't even see you can barely even see a bad band for cheap anymore. Honestly, the way shit's popped off like that, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And it's like more than just inflation. It's like just become ridiculous.
It's just greedy shit. Like it's just that really is it. Like there's no, unless you know someone that bought tickets that's like, hey, let me get them. I'll pay you whatever. You can't get tickets for anything. That it's just brutal.
No, it's horrible. I remember the days when like concert tickets be like $12. You pay it in cash at the door. You're good.
Yeah.
None of that. No ticket. You never get a ticket anymore.
Yeah, I used to like to collect some tickets from
I used
some of
to
the
love
shows.
that
Yeah, I
shit.
used to have like an envelope full of like
Re-up.
ticket stubs and
Yep.
shit, but that's like don't get that anymore.
This newfangled world, man. This ain't it. We're getting too old for this. That's what I think.
Yeah.
The more things change, the worse they get.
Yeah. But anyway, we could lament the whole lot more wrong with the world. Let's bask in the glory of our birds, yo.
dude.
Yeah, man. The bald eagle has landed.
Yeah.
For another 3
Yeah,
years.
he is back.
Yes.
Zack Baun re-signed 3 years. What was it, 51 mil?
Yep.
And it's like 30 something guaranteed.
36 guaranteed. Saquon Barkley, first ever 20 mil a year running
20
Yeah,
back.
2 years,
20, we got him
20-year
forever.
contract.
He's
Two-
never leaving.
2 years, $41 million on top of it. He was already signed through next season as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But it's good. I mean, that's good. It's, give the guy what he earned. Also helps make the Eagles an attractive place for free agents. It's like, look, we take care of people here. you
Yeah.
know?
I didn't see the defensive side, but like just the fact of age, right? So you got Hurts 26, Saquon 28. So that deal is not going to really be, you can be played always 30, 32 then at that point if it's a
Yeah,
full
30.
year.
I think 31, 32.
But Dallas
yeah.
Goedert 30, AJ Brown 27, Smith 26, Dotson 24. He'll probably be gone or whatnot. Malata 27, Jurgens 25, Dickerson 26. I mean, the youthfulness on this offensive side of the ball, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's incredible.
Yeah, I think you could look at the team as a whole. Like, if you want to look at it defensively, like, on the D-line, BG's probably going to retire, especially once he retore his
yeah, he's
triceps.
done,
He's
so.
probably done. But, yeah, I mean, you figure, what do you call it? Jalen Carter, he's got to be,
Yep.
early 20s. Moro Ojomo is early 20s, right?
Even Jordan Davis is
Jordan Davis is young.
Davis,
Yeah.
Zack
Smith.
Baun is 28, right?
Yeah, Nolan Smith is a
Cooper.
baby. Nolan
Yeah.
Smith's 24.
Yeah, N'Kobe Dean, I think, is 25.
That's before the secondary.
Quinyon Mitchell's young.
Yep.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's still young.
Coop.
Reed Blanket, like, the whole team is set up for success. And Howie's done a masterful job of just kind of creating this window and, like, keeping it open for a while, especially with these two moves. Your biggest addition on offense is here for a couple more seasons. Your biggest addition on defense is here for 3 more years. Let's get it, dude.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that, like, the next 3 years, you got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, and Jalen Hurts. Like, to have your starting quarterback, running back, and number 1 and 2 receiver for that long, under the age of 28, sans, I guess, Barkley at 28 on the nose, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And, like, you look at all the moves everybody else is doing in the NFC.
Washington
Does it
bringing
really
in
scare
Debo.
you? Yeah,
Debo's
like,
washed.
the dude wore an Eagles jersey to the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, like,
that was so weird.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
they got all this money in free agency, which is the scary thing.
Yeah, your haters will be your waiters at the table of
Yeah.
success. as they say.
But to Trevor's point, like, you give all the money in the world to a shitty owner, and it doesn't matter if you don't know how to use it. Yeah, you bring in Debo Samuel, woohoo! Like, wow.
I mean,
okay.
they still have a ton of cap space, so they could still do some things. And
They could.
I mean, Jaden Daniels is very good. Like, Washington,
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of in
they're
that.
probably the second best run team in the division.
Yeah, but you look at that
Yeah, I
offense
mean-
though. Like, they have what, Austin Eckler, right? In reality,
Yeah,
their
he's
starting
old.
running back is old.
Ertz
Their
is
starting
old.
tight end is Ertz. Debo Samuel, like, yeah, if this was 4 years ago, I'd be like, holy shit, this offense is explosive. But you don't really have, anybody from a scary point, scary Terry, no pun
I mean,
intended.
Jaden Daniels is scary.
He is, but you got one more year of film. That defense of ours isn't really changing a whole lot. Now that we have Zack Baun back, that would have been a tremendous loss. If he had walked, big shoes to fill. But you bring him back, there'll be some regression. I doubt he'll be a potential defensive player of the year 2 years in a row, but I don't know. I just don't think right now. I think the moves that we've made compared to what Washington has done.
Oh no, like, I mean, we're playing chess. The other teams are in the NFC are playing checkers, right? Like, Howie's just consistently one step ahead. And also it helps to have an owner that's willing to just pay these guys cash up front on a signing bonus or restructure their deals and give them a bunch of cash now to create cap space in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, Jerry Jones ain't doing that.
Fuck
Jerry
no.
Jones is cheap as hell. Why do you think the Cowboys have been ass for the last 30 years, more or
That's
less?
the first time CTE ever crept up into ownership. They're not doing shit over there. They did restructure, though. They did free up, I think, $50 million cap spaces.
Yeah, they did.
They
They
restructured
gave Dak.
CDs.
CD and Dak.
Yeah, and then what do you call it? Osia Digazua, I think the D lineman. They did something with his contract too.
Yeah.
So maybe Jerry's finally
They
getting
su-
hip.
yeah.
But like, Jerry, man, you've been doing this for 30, 40 years. This is the first time you're getting creative.
I think on a scary note, though, I do think that Myles Garrett will land in the NFC East. I think that between the cap space of Washington and their potential contendingness is
that would be
probably
scary, yeah.
enticing, especially with Dan Quinn over there. They have a good defense there. You got Bobby Wagner and a lot of other good vets. And they, all intents and purposes, that defense was very good last year, paired with Jaden Daniels' performance in that offense. Dallas makes a few moves. They have cap space, especially with the way it worked out at the end of the year to free up for everybody. They could pay Myles Garrett some money. And it's enticing for him to be paired up with Micah Parsons, which would be intriguing.
That'd be formidable. I didn't even consider that.
And then you look at the Eagles, you may not get the most money. However, you get the team that just won the Super Bowl.
Like
it's a
most set up.
Yeah, they're like ready to roll after being in fucking Cleveland for 8 years. I think he's going to be in this division by the start of the season. I don't know with who, but I think he will be playing in this division.
Hopefully it's with us. I mean, imagine him with Jalen Carter.
That's all I'm saying.
It's a wrap. And Nolan Smith on the other end, it's a wrap, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see what ends up happening. Howie kind of dismissed it at the combine, but Howie's always up to some tricks. That's his poker face. So
Yeah, he wouldn't have said anything,
Yeah. We are going to go after Myles Garrett.
yeah, you can't say that.
Yeah.
So if Cleveland calls you, like, not you, but like if Cleveland calls Howie up and they say, yeah, we'll do it, you got to give us this year's first, which is 32nd.
Yeah, easy money.
You one more, you got to give up next year's second and you got to give us, I don't know, Nolan Smith.
What about
doing that? Because they're going to probably want some high-end defensive player in return. Or...
No, I would trade off... I would give you... obviously there's no value in it right now with the way Huff played, but we could still trade Huff.
They don't want his ass.
But the Browns, listen, the Browns just want draft capital at that point. You're not going to get a player comparable or even close to the way that Myles Garrett plays. I don't see them giving up Josh Sweat and Nolan Smith in the same year.
Yeah, the Eagles shouldn't do that. Like,
So,
I agree with you.
I don't think
the Eagles
Howie
should.
won't give fleece like that. He won't give up young talent knowing that he's,
What about this scenario?
because
They
there's
say,
no,
yeah, we
there's
want
no
Ca-
really
we
young
want-
ends coming in that we have. Nolan Smith is the guy. We don't have anybody else that really caught our eye on the end. You had Sweat, you had Nolan Smith, BG for a little bit, but other than that, there was no one else that really came off the edge.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, so Nolan Smith, you kind of need to
You
keep.
got to keep him.
So,
He's
yeah, you
24
probably have
years
to say
old.
no to that, yeah. What about, they need a quarterback over there. You had Tanner
The Mormon
McKinnon.
missile? Yeah.
Tanner.
Ship
Yo,
his
good
ass
for him,
out.
dude. I'd be happy for him, but yeah, I would send him.
Ship his ass out.
Dude, he would go there and he'd probably light it up. He's nice.
He's like a Flacco. He'd be
Yeah.
all right. He's launching that ball around. They got a good receiving core out
Yeah,
there.
he's that.
Decent, I
that-
should say.
That should be Howie's counter.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'll give you the Mormon missile. This is a proven, or not proven NFL quarterback, but has all
This
the
is
tools.
a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He has a ring.
That
he
is
has
true.
a Super Bowl ring
Yeah.
quarterback.
That is
or
true.
Pickett.
I
Give
feel
them
like
both. Fuck it.
yeah, give them both. I mean, I feel like they would want
Yeah.
McKee over Pickett.
I would push Pickett first. Though.
I would.
Yeah, I would feel like
'Cause McKee's
Pickett-
a really good
Oh
backup,
my god,
yeah.
he was so crucial in that kneel down in the Super Bowl. He
Yeah,
started.
we'll give him Braden Mann too. We'll give
Yo,
couple of special teams.
Did you see this? Braden Mann was on a retreat somewhere with his wife, like,
Oh yeah, I saw
and he
that.
had her helping
Yeah.
him like catch snaps and like field punts or
Yeah.
field a
field
snap to
goals.
set up the kick.
Yep. In their little bungalow in the jungle.
Yeah.
Dude, good
That
for
was
him.
kinda hot.
That's a baller, dude.
Yeah.
That's a baller. He takes no days off. It's the middle of the offseason. He's working on his game. I like a Braden man. He's better than who do we have? Aaron Siposs. Aaron
Yeah,
Siposs was
yeah.
a bum, dude. He's
Yeah.
why we lost the Super Bowl 2 years ago. But I'm not mad about it because we won the most recent Super Bowl. But anyway, a bunch of stuff happened with the Eagles since last time we recorded.
A lot of injuries, a lot of surgeries.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I guess we can go there next.
Brandon
You're getting
Graham.
up to pee in the middle of the pod.
Yeah, I got you, man.
Damn, dude, you're gonna have to start wearing some diapers down here.
There's
Jeez.
a sink over there.
Oh my.
But yeah, man, you got Brandon Graham re-tearing his tricep. So he's is he wrapped up for another year or no?
What do you mean?
Like, do we have him under contract for
No,
another
Brandon
year?
Graham? No, he was signed to a 1-year deal.
I mean, you figure, you give the man a vet minimum, maybe $1 million or $2 million.
But I think this injury probably, he doesn't want to have to go through another rehab.
I think he's done too, but I think that
Yeah.
if he wants to play and has the urge to play, I can see him coming back. Or no one picks him up, he heals himself up on the side, and then midway through the year, we're like, all right, like when we picked up Ndamukong
that could happen,
or
yeah.
Linval Joseph, But the other young cats, funny to see them all get banged up and chained up and not even know that they were hurt.
Yeah, Nolan Smith tore his tricep.
Yeah.
Cam Jurgens needs back surgery. Landon Dickerson needed knee surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? I feel like that's it, but those are all significant
That's
injuries.
all the major ones, yeah. But it's all big guys in the trenches.
Yeah, and then all of them is surgery, right? It isn't like he's sprained an ankle or
The
like...
funny thing is too is that it's all big guys in the trenches, and all those guys had major impact plays on the field.
And they were still balling
You
through
look at
injury.
that
Yeah.
one Landon play where he blocked a guy, did a back spun around behind the back, and then blocked another guy.
Yeah.
In the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Nolan Smith doing his fucking shit. This team is.
Yeah, I mean, BG playing with a torn tricep, had a tackle,
Mm-hmm.
a pressure, forced a holding penalty.
Yep.
Like, shout out to all them, dude.
So it's good to see them doing their thing. You lose Slay
Yeah,
as of now for the cap hit.
Yeah.
He's not worth $4.3 million this year.
I could see him coming back on
He
a
is
vet
coming
minimum.
back. He's coming back. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Slay is going to come back for probably a 1-year deal worth $2 million.
Whatever the league minimum is for...
Most of it being like maybe like $1 million with a $3 million signing bonus, some shit like that.
Yeah, that is some Jeffrey and Howie stuff.
Because then he'll get his $4 million for the year, but it'll be mostly paid up front and then whatever. I mean, the funny thing is too, statistically, he had the best year of his career.
I have his stats pulled
That's what I'm
up.
saying.
Who you talking about?
Slay.
So like, why not bring him back?
He had a 42.4% completion rating allowed,
Mm-hmm.
5.4 yards per target, and 15 pass breakups. His best year with the Eagles, and we allowed a league low 174 yards, the lowest in the Eagles franchise in 25 years.
That's what I'm saying. It's nice to see the guy, like, he is an elite number one lockdown corner, right? His years of being in his prime are well behind him for sure. But the fact that you have a guy like this who's kind of on the downturn of his career, right? The swan years, as they say. But you have Quinyon and Cooper DeJean now that he's helping build up to that. Even Keely Ringo on the back end, number 3. It takes the pressure off of him. And you saw that this year, how that like, he wasn't hurt all the time. He would come out.
He would get banged up for like
a
few plays. Yeah.
But he'd come back in for the game. But Slay, it was just so good to see him out there playing like free.
Dude, that pick against the Packers, that was nasty.
Yep.
That was sick. I mean, he's 34 years old out there making those plays.
You know what number he wore for his first pick as an Eagle?
27. No, wait, 26?
24.
24.
It was just funny to see because they were like, oh, his first pick and his last pick for right now.
Yeah.
And I forgot he had a different jersey.
Yeah, because corners weren't allowed to wear single digits back then. Yeah.
24. It was kind of cool. So, I think he comes back. He said before he wants to be an Eagle. I don't see his value. Like I don't think he's gonna get the bag anywhere.
It might be a BG situation where it's already announced he wants to play one more year and he'd be open to coming back. And if his market's not there, the Eagles let him sit for a little while and say, "Hey, like we'll bring you back." He's
a big locker room guy, man. And he already turned down more money the last time for Baltimore.
Yeah.
So like at this point, what are you gonna go?
He said he would also love to go back to Detroit. So that's probably the one team we got to worry about.
I mean, if they didn't lose all their fucking coordinators, though.
Yeah, I mean, they got their work cut out for them.
They got gutted.
I mean, I guess we lost a coordinator. What do you make of Kevin Patullo?
It's getting more Italian, baby. That's right.
Yeah, that is an Italian-ass name.
I don't know. I mean, you can see the continuity with him and Nick Sirianni. They were at the Colts together too, I think.
Yeah.
There's some Colt lineage. I think I've said this before, where I'm not really a big believer in the OC position for the Eagles at this point because they're just might as well be a revolving door. Like they're like catching a fart in the wind. It doesn't really matter. I mean. I
wouldn't be that like I get what you're saying and like I agree, but I wouldn't be totally dismissive of it. I mean,
it's not a Brian Johnson move. At least there's connection with Sirianni and this guy. People on the team, AJ Brown, Devontae Hurts have been like, I mean, yeah, we hear them. He's in every meeting. He's always been around. Like he's not a foreign guy to them, so I'm okay with it. At the same time, I think this fucking offense is pretty foolproof. So you'd have to be a real idiot.
You'd be a real dumb piece of shit.
You'd have to be pretty fucking stupid
to not succeed.
You'd have to be stupid to fuck this up.
Coordinator.
I mean, I hear that, and I mostly agree. It's just I wouldn't sleep on there being some growing pains.
I'm sleeping on it. I'm sleeping like a fucking baby. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
If the defense, my biggest concern was defensive side of the ball.
Well, yeah, now we got Baun, we're good. Yeah,
Vic Fangio's here, like I said, until he dies.
Till he dies of cancer.
In some basement in South Philly, probably.
Damn, then now you're going even deeper.
He's coming home from the Palladium, having a good time, and just goes to bed and just is chilling. But OC, it is what it is.
He's just chilling and he's dead.
Yeah, well, at an old age, he'll be like 88 years old, like an old man, not like he'll be an old man coaching the Birds. Probably have like I don't know pancreatic cancer, some shit like that, and then
would you stop that? Would you stop bringing up cancer with Vic Fangio, dude? If he gets sick this year and he has to miss time, I'm blaming you.
Listen, I'm not his doctor. I'm just saying what I feel. But anyway, we're not getting that with the offensive side of the ball. That's all I'm saying. There are going to be a lot of just new guys, new faces. I don't really care for the next 2 years because we have the pieces.
Yeah. I mean, again, I mostly agree. It's just you never know. I mean, I'm trying to think of an example where a coach had good weapons and didn't do very well. Chip Kelly, different type of situation for sure. But I mean, Chip Kelly inherits Jeremy Maclin, Deshaun Jackson, LaShawn McCoy, Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson. Like I could go on. Zach Ertz. And those offenses just became so predictable and stale so quickly that it didn't matter who they had. It's a different situation, but like I wouldn't be so dismissive of a new offensive coordinator just not having the potential to have a down season. Trevor, you got no opinion on that?
I don't know. I guess it's just like hard to be that worried given how good they looked at the end of last season, and I don't know. I don't know. Like I'm not convinced that was just a
fluke.
The Kellen Moore magic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like I feel like they kind of know what they want to do. You know, as much as like I don't want like Sirianni to be too like meddling in the offense. It is like has been like sort of the one constant that like they kind of know how they want to play in the broader sense. And the fact that, you know, he's already been there, which I guess you could have said the same thing about Brian Johnson, but I don't know. I'm definitely not like concerned. It's kind of like a wait and see thing. It just kind of is what it is. I don't know who else would they have brought in where you'd be like feeling really great. You know, it's just kind of it is what it is. I mean, unfortunately, when you have a team that performs this well, your coaches are going to get poached. That's just how it is. That's the cost of doing business, you know?
Yeah, and I guess Nick's wearing the pants a little bit. He did just win a Super Bowl, so he gets him to call his shots. So he called a shot for his boy. We'll see. I think the interesting thing he did say that gives me a lot of hope for this whole situation is he did say, yeah, like, Kevin's not new to the organization, but we're going to bring in assistant coaches and position coaches, try to bring in some new ideas and some new mindset.
They did bring in a new passing quarterback coach from some...
Yeah, Scott Leffler from Bowling Green.
Yeah, I thought... Yeah, so, you know, I mean...
Who like, played with Tom Brady.
Yeah,
for whatever
so, like,
that's worth.
Again, I'm sure there'll be a couple little mishaps here and there with the new coach. You know, anytime changing of the guard, there'll be some hiccups here and there. I just think that they've learned from the Brian Johnson move and how stagnant they got. But I think that team also, I mean, you look back at that season, the offense played their ass off. Like, they were firing left and right. A.J. Brown had 1,200 yards in the first 8 weeks or some shit like that. Like, he was set at 125 yards a game for the first 5 games of the year, where it was the defense that fucked up. So that's where I'm saying, like, yeah, the OC, I'm not being super dismissive of it. It is a big deal. They'll be okay.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they have the defense kind of on lock is huge.
That is the big... If you're only giving up 13, 15 points a game, like I said, you got to be pretty dumb to fucking lose that shit with this offense.
Yeah, again, like, I don't disagree. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't throw it completely out the window. You know
I mean, I threw it out the window. I'm throwing it out the window.
Yeah. I mean, to your point, like, I think there definitely could be some growing pains. It might take a few weeks to figure everything out, and
tough schedule. Right?
Yeah. First place schedule.
I guess, and it's, you know, and I guess the one thing with like having a new OC like that, it's sort of, you know, I don't like this guy, like he hasn't been like the play caller before. That's like something where did like. Regardless of like his design on the offense, which I don't think is going to deviate that much from what we've been doing the past couple of years, the fact that like he has to be the guy who's in game, calling the plays, knowing what to draw up, like that is a big part of it. And he could be good at that. He might not be. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's impossible to judge right now. I just don't know.
I think that's true. I also think the biggest thing, like, there's very few things that surprise NFL defenses anymore. Like, you're not going to bring in a new guy and be like, oh, it's revolutionizing the game. Like, it's going to be the same shit that we've all seen for the last pretty much 5 to 10 years in the NFL.
Yeah, probably largely will be.
At the same time, it's going to be how is he going to draw up plays where if this team is going to stuff the box, we're going to throw the ball. At the end of the day, as a defense, you're playing against this offense that has top 2 O-line in the NFL, if not the best. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, potentially a new rookie stud tight end. Who knows? Saquon Barkley and Hurts, who's been able to pick defenses apart in almost a Manning-esque boundary here. Changing plays, calling out defenses. Like, you put... That's all I'm saying. Like, it makes it very challenging. We don't need this guy to come in here and give us a new scheme, right? Just keep the unit the same and know how to call a decent game, and they'll do the rest.
Yeah. I mean, I think Hurts, this is his opportunity to take a little more ownership of the offense. And, we saw the NFC Championship game in the Super Bowl when he does that. So, certainly more reasons for optimism than concern. We'll just have to wait and see. Like Trevor said, the play calling aspect is sneaky underrated. Like, can he get into a rhythm calling plays? We don't know.
We shall see.
I think, is there anything else?
You think they banned the tush push?
Hell no.
Oh, yeah, we haven't really talked about that.
No.
Yeah, I don't think they will. It's
No.
just
The Packers are...
just 2 or 3 whiners.
Yeah, they're just soft.
You know what?
The haters and losers.
The Bills call
Hating
for
and losing.
banning it. The Bills run it almost as much as we do.
Yeah, they just
That's
not as good at it.
hypocritical. They're pretty good at it, though.
Yeah.
Like, what
Not
are
when
you
it
mad
counts.
for?
Not when it matters.
Yeah, not when it matters.
Well, yeah, that's
Second best
They're
doesn't
mad
get you.
because the Chiefs stopped them on it a couple
Yeah.
times. Like,
Well,
whatever.
they didn't stop us.
Be better at
Yeah,
it.
fucking Sean. Dude, the best was like Sean McDermott being like, "We're just concerned about like the safety of it, or whatever." And they looked up like the number of injuries that have occurred in that
Was
play.
zero.
Was zero.
Yeah.
0%.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah, I know Sean McDermott, like, he cut his teeth in Philly. He's a fraud, man.
Yeah.
I was talking with, like, some friends that are Bills fans. They're like, yeah, he's got to go. They really don't like him up there.
Yeah, he's a little bitch.
But somehow he keeps having a job. Like, he's on the Andy Reid trajectory, but not with the
Yeah.
championships. He just chokes every year in the playoffs like Andy Reid did when
Good
he was
for you.
here.
You shoveled some snow in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Bitch, get out of here. Mm-mm.
Yeah, nah, man.
Well, I mean, I don't really give a shit what they do with McDermott. They could do whatever they
Yeah,
want, but
it doesn't really affect us.
the ban the push-tush thing is tush-push. Damn, did it again.
Push tush.
You know what I mean? It's just stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I like between the tush push and just the fact that the way that a lot of the rest of the league and analysts kind of seem to undervalue or kind of shit on Hurts, I feel like it all comes down to the fact that the physical ability of the Eagles is just, it's like people just feel like it doesn't count. Which I guess this is like mostly just like a Hurts thing where it's just like, you know, it's not like we're like this is the big strong guy sport,
Right.
and we got a bunch of big strong guys, and you're fucking trying to kill us for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like you could have, any team in the league could have drafted the quarterback that can fucking squat 600 pounds. All of them had the opportunity to do that. Any team in the league could have drafted the fucking massive rugby player that's never played football before.
Mm-hmm.
You decided you didn't want to do that. Like, I don't know, man. Like, we fucking got all the fucking strong guys.
Well, it's not like we're giving.
And we're taking advantage of it.
Yeah,
you
that's
know
the
what I
name
mean?
of the game.
It's not like we're giving the ball to Malata first. Like we're giving it
Yeah.
to the quarterback. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's a legal play.
for all intents and purposes. It is a QB sneak, and very rarely do they have to push Hurts. Like they might, put a hand on it, but like 9 times out of 10, he's just.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, even if they I've seen some people talk about, it's like, well, you just go back to the rule where like you're not allowed to push the guy, and it's like, even if they did that, I still think
He'd
they
be
would be
fine.
converting like 80% of the time.
Yeah.
You know
Did
what
you
I mean?
see? I didn't even catch this at Super Bowl game. They put.
Chris Jones sideways?
Yeah. It's like, what kind of leverage do you think he's going to get? He was
Yeah,
literally
funny.
this way, and you have fucking Cam Jurgens, Landon Dickerson, and Jordan Mailata already lined up on his ribs.
Yeah,
and it's
that
like,
was
what
so
did you think
stupid.
was he going to do?
So he's going to have more leverage with half his body weight behind him than his whole body weight if he's like facing the line.
Right.
That didn't make any sense.
As soon as they call hike, he's just barreling his own guys. It was just putting a log in front of their legs
Yeah,
for
that
no
was
reason.
so stupid.
Yeah, I don't get it. But, fuck the NFL. Fuck them all. They hate us because they hate us.
Yeah.
And you can
Haters
try
and
it. You can do
losers.
it. Go for it. Go draft some big dudes. Go figure it out.
Good luck. You don't have a Stoutland University.
And now on top of drafting Hurts and Mailata, we also picked up Saquon Barkley, who can also squat equally as much, if not more, than Hurts. And he's pushing that guy. So, what do you think you're going to do?
People are just mad, dude.
Our
Like we
center
said.
makes beef jerky.
They cannot beat our big strong boys.
Our center makes
No,
jerky. You
our-
can't push that man around.
Our big
Yeah.
beefy lads, like I said the one time, that's just the identity of the team. Don't be mad about us for it. Like, get strong,
The
get big, get in the
largest
gym.
O-line in the
Start
history
eating some
of
peanut
the
butter
NFL.
jelly sandwiches and lifting some weights, man.
Yeah,
You gotta put some sticks of butter in that. They can't even beef up quick enough.
No, get in the gym.
Yeah.
Biggest O-line
Start
in
drinking
NFL.
olive oil straight out the bottle.
You gotta get an enema of that right in the bloodstream.
You know what they need? They need some milk.
Need some
They
milk.
need some milk.
Get them some milk.
They do
Whole
need
milk,
some milk,
dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
Yeah.
Touch Bush is here to stay. Which
Yeah.
is
Yes.
funny to hear that it's an unknown name too. That's not what
Well, they
call
changed
it.
the name. The Eagles have changed the name. There was one year where they called it the Snoopy.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like there was. I don't know what they call it now, but I remember maybe a year or two ago they called it the Snoopy.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
I don't know.
Well, I feel like they don't even have to like call the
they
play. If they're on the. I mean, I remember in like the mic'd up Super Bowl when they were, I guess their first like touchdown or whatever, when they're on the 1 yard line, and you just hear Hurst be like, "Y'all know what time it is."
Yeah.
And there was,
nobody needs to call the
They don't
play.
have to say it. They
There
just
was
know
another
what it
game
is.
this year where Saquon said, "Yeah, you can't stop it. Like, you know what's coming. You can't stop it." So yeah, they could call it whatever.
That was when he against the Giants. He got down to the 1 yard line. He was like, "Oh, they're like, oh, he's not gonna score his touchdown." They were like, "Just call the play. We're all right." Yeah.
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 We good?
Yeah.
I was gonna read the podcast page. Hold on, yeah. Not that I'm going anywhere. We didn't talk about this.
What?
The podcast P. Did you see Paul George's?
Paul George.
Yeah. So
He's taking a break from podcasting.
we're not going anywhere, but we didn't talk about this, and I just said I'd have to read it back. With that being said, though, I want to let the podcast P family know that after today's episode with Dwight, I plan to take a break from the pod just to focus on getting my body right, getting mentally right, and help the squad make a push towards our goal to finish the season and give ourselves a chance to be in contention to compete for a championship. I won't front. The desire to get back to shooting in person with my guys as well is the forefront of, this hiatus as well. I look forward to us three being back together and doing this as we once started this, so we'll be back on that note. Be sure to lock in with us because we've got some big things in store for our future. In the meantime, you all be easy from Podcast P. Just so funny, man. I wanted to start the pod with that, but we jumped right into
It's
it.
great to see Paul George starting to focus on his second job as a basketball player.
In February, when he said that shit.
It's
Yeah.
like, dude, you should have said that in August. But hey, man, if Podcast P goes down, hey, Podcast P listeners, you come listen to the Citywide Pod.
Yeah, dude, locking it down over here. All right, well, that will just about do it for us here tonight, everybody. Thank you for listening and tuning in. Please leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get a podcast. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Send us an email at citywidepod@gmail.com. And from all of us here at the Citywide, good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Peace.
See ya.